Hey everyone, it's Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42. I am coming to you today from the Hobbit Library. Apologize for my voice. I have a cold, and when I get a cold, it always goes to the voice, so I'm sounding froggier than I usually do. The reason why I'm coming to you from the Hobbit Library is because I want to show off my new crafting table. I had been talking with Mark about getting a crafting table because what I have been working on is either my kitchen table downstairs or my kitchen counter, and I have issues with both of those. The kitchen table is oval, so whenever I try to cut fabric on it, the fabric tries to slide off the rounded edges. The kitchen counter is the right height, and I have a long kitchen counter. The problem is there's a sink in the middle of the kitchen counter. So I had been talking with him about getting a crafting table so that I could have something up here and eventually make the room behind the door into a crafting room. So I'm going to pause for a moment. I'm going to show you a better angle of the table so that I can tell you a little bit about it. Hold on. Okay. What Mark found for me at Home Depot was a folding table that when it folds up, it's a 2 foot by 2 foot square and it has a handle on one side. When it's fully open like it is right now, it's 2 feet wide this way and it's 4 feet long this way. It has 4 different levels on the legs. I have it at the highest level, which puts it about countertop. So let me pause and readjust my camera and we'll do some more. So I was really excited. He brought this home for me on Monday. Tuesday, I figured I'm going to make the project envelope that I said I was going to make that's going to be part of my giveaway for my 1-year Flosstubeaversary. I use Vanna's design for making project envelopes. When I watched her very first video, when I watched her video for the first time, I took all the notes, how wide, how long, all this. I went to Joann's. The one thing that I didn't write down was what type of batting she used. So when I got to Joann's, I asked the ladies at the counter, and what they gave me was a foam batting. I didn't know, so I bought it. I came home and I made my first couple of project envelopes, and I liked the way they turned out. The foam gives them a stiffer feel. Anyway, I have my table, I get out my supplies, I cut out my foam, I cut out my fabric. Vanna had said in her tutorial that if you are using directional fabric, that make sure that you have them lined up properly so that when you're looking at it, you see the fabric face on, and when you open it up, you see the fabric face on. So I did that. I got my 2 pieces of fabric, and they are directional, so I made sure that when I put them together, they were facing the right way. Then I pinned them to that foam, walked around to my desk where I sat down, and I sewed my project envelope together. Do you see what I did wrong here? When you put your fabric together, it's supposed to be fabric and fabric together with the foam on one side. I put the foam between the 2 pieces of fabric. I can't believe that I did something that's so basic, so wrong. So I just kind of threw it on the floor and decided that I needed to take a break. I'd gotten a call from Lori up at Acorns and Threads. They said that, she said that a pattern I had ordered had shown up, and I thought, I'm going to go up to Acorns and Threads. I'm going to do some retail therapy, and then I will come home and I will try again. And that's exactly what I did. I came home, I got another piece of foam, cut it to size. I got 2 more pieces of fabric. I cut them to size. I put them together, and I have a project envelope. Pattern is facing the right direction. When you open it up, the pattern is facing the right direction. If you have a cemetery on the outside, you have the zombies on the inside. This is the project envelope that I made to go with my 1-year Flosstubeaversary. So, speaking of that, Friday evening I went onto that video and I wrote closed across the top of it so that if anybody else wanted to comment on it, they would know that it was closed as far as entering any more names. I asked Mark to be my random generator because I record on my cell phone and therefore I can't use my cell phone as a random generator. So here are my pages of people who entered and I've written down what their colors were. A lot of people started out liking blues. There's a couple of teals, a few greens, and then purples just kind of dominated the next couple of pages. An aqua, a teal. One lady said she liked Halloween. I know exactly what she means by that. Another lady said that she liked autumn. Well, if I understand what Halloween is, of course I understand what autumn is. More purples, a few blacks, some reds, rosy pink, 1 lime green. Very specific, lime green. Burgundies, burnt orange, a lot of purple, a lot of blues, a lot of greens. So I asked Mark, I said I had 76 people enter, and I'm going to hand you my book here, and I want you to write a number down for me. 54. "54 is Amylovestoads. And her favorite colors, go figure, are blues and greens. The girl likes toads. Of course she's going to like blues and greens. So, Amy, I have your address. I can get my package put together and sent off to you. I will send you a message with the password that you're going to need to claim the $25 gift certificate up at Acorns and Threads. They don't have a website, so you have to have an idea of what it is that you want when you call them, and they will help you whatever you need. Janine has a ton of patterns up there. She has a ton of fabric and floss. So give them a call. They'll help you figure it out. I'm paying for shipping. So thank you. Thank you everybody who commented on that video. This past year has been a journey, and I have learned so much, and I have experienced so much, and I am just thrilled with the people who have been part of my journey from the beginning. I'm thrilled with the people who showed up halfway through, with the people who have just found me. Thank you all for sharing my journey, and I don't feel like this is enough to do, but it's what I can handle right now. So anyway, Amylovestoads, I will be contacting you. Okay, Tuesday, after I came home and I was working on this, my granddaughters came over. Tuesday is Girls' Day. From the time that they have gone to school till now, Rowan is in 6th grade, Riley is in 5th grade, they have always come over to my house 1 day a week after school. And a few years back, it became Tuesdays. So Tuesday is Girls' Day. When their bus dropped them off, I was up here working on this. So of course they had to come check out and see what Grandma's doing. And they wanted to know what this table was for. And I said, well, you know, my idea is that I'm going to turn the room behind here into a craft room. When we first put the Hobbit library together, this was my son Philip's room. And it's 2 levels. The lower level is what became the Hobbit library. There's a step up. That's where Mark built the bookcase wall and put the door. And the room behind there had been storage for several years with my Christmas and Halloween stuff. When he redid the laundry room downstairs and moved the storage area down there, all that stuff got moved downstairs. And I decided this was going to be a guest room. It's wide enough for a twin-size bed in there. Now that I'm getting into doing my own finishing and stuff, I want a craft room because working downstairs in the kitchen is not convenient for me. So I'm telling my granddaughters this, and they both got super excited about this. And they started telling me all the things that needed to be added to this craft room. And I said, but I don't do those kind of crafts. And they looked at me and said, but we do. So apparently, my craft room will be our craft room. I'm good with that. I have no problem at all enabling my granddaughters to do crafts because I think all kids should do crafts. Just makes them better. Okay, so other than working on my craft table, what have I been doing? I got my Harry Potter piece finished for the exchange. It's all set aside over here, ready to go. It just needs to be wrapped up and put in the box, and I'm going to do that today. The next project that I was working on was also for an exchange. This one was between Helen D and myself. Helen D has Flosstube videos. She's East Coast Crafter on Instagram. Go check her out. She does some really, really awesome stuff, and she has a nerd wall. Yeah. So Helen D and I had been messaging, and we decided that we were going to do a smalls exchange for Halloween. And I was going through the patterns that I had, and I couldn't find anything that I really liked that I wanted to stitch for her. So I got out my past copies of Just Cross Stitch Halloween specials, and I was going through those, and I came across this pattern that I really, really, really liked. I liked it so much that a couple of times while I was stitching it, I was thinking, I could make something else for her and keep this for myself. But I was good. I was good. I finished it, I put it in an envelope, and I sent it her way. The evening before, I received my package from her. And Helen, you totally, totally blew me away because I did not expect for you to be making me a project envelope. Look at this. Look at this pattern, or fabric. There are pumpkins and bats and cats and purple trim and green. This is gorgeous. So gorgeous. I did not expect that at all. Look at the little fob she's got on there. Beautiful. Inside of it was a lovely card. Some Birdie Bots Every Flavor beans, which with my cold I can't eat right now because I won't taste anything. A couple of needle minders, the Munsters, because that's Grandpa, and Hedwig. And this is what she made for me. This is beautiful. This is beyond beautiful. I took a picture downstairs where I'm starting to put my Halloween decorations up of my witch's boots that apparently I've been collecting and didn't know that I've been collecting. So now, while I know this is supposed to go in my cauldron, I think it has to go with my witch's boots. Helen, this is beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't know if you're going to be as pleased with mine as I am with yours, but I liked it. Anyway. So that moves on to projects. What have I been working on? I've given up on Witch's Gate again. I'm just not feeling it, so I've put it aside, and when I finally get around to finishing it, I will get around to finishing it. But I have another exchange that I'm going to be participating in, and this one is a hands-on design Squareology harvest basket. I showed you one of the patterns from hands-on design that I got in my last video, the Nevermore. So you see the finished piece here. On the back, the pattern is just 1/4 of it, and you have to rotate it to get your full piece. I like this one because of the pumpkins, and I thought that they were really cute, and I'm coming along and I'm stitching this, and I got to the 4th pumpkin and I had an idea. When we first bought our house, I started a compost garden on the side of the house. I had a 5-foot square plot of soil that I had Mark rototill for me, and in that area I put all my compostable stuff from the kitchen. Eggshells, coffee grounds, tea bags, fruit and vegetable scraps. And I have done this for years and years and years. And that area of ground has become very nutrient rich because of the compost. I learned the first year that if you have a 5-foot square garden, you cannot plant 3 tomato plants in there because they exploded. One plant by itself was 3.5 feet tall, 5 feet wide. So 3 of them in this 5-foot square compost garden was very crowded. A few years later, I decided that I wanted to try growing pumpkins. I'm a city girl. I don't know how much space pumpkins are going to take. I went down to Wilco and I found some pumpkin seeds for a blue-gray pumpkin called Once in a Blue Moon. And I bought them and came home, planted them, pumpkin vines all over the place, and I ended up with 3 absolutely gorgeous blue-gray pumpkins. What does that have to do with cross-stitch? I'm stitching this piece, and I've got my 3 baskets. This one's almost done, with my 2 orange pumpkins in each one. And I decided that in this last basket I was going to put a blue pumpkin, 2 blue pumpkins, because I grew Once in a Blue Moon pumpkins. So I went down to Wilco to see if they had any of those seeds anymore. It's too late in the season to be buying pumpkin seeds, so obviously they didn't. Excuse me. But this is going to be for an exchange that I will be taking part in later on in the year. I'll put a little note in there so that the person who gets it knows why there's blue pumpkins on there. The day after I decided to do the blue pumpkins on here, I was watching Kathy Haberman, and she was showing off the new pattern design by Priscilla, where Priscilla has got blue pumpkins in her piece. I didn't know anything about that. I haven't stitched any of those patterns, so I didn't know that Priscilla was doing blue pumpkins. I thought it was my own idea. I still think it's my own idea. So that's one of the projects that I'm working on. The other one that I am currently working on is the one that I can't pronounce. I even tried going in and Googling how to say this. So excuse me if I butcher it, but I'm going to try. Panier de Sorceire. It's this one. And this is where I'm at with it. I am loving the colors. I've already realized that there is a mistake in here. So how does Teresa say it? It's wabi-sabi. And I'm leaving the wabi-sabi in there because, you know, I'm not going to tear out a bunch of stuff just because. So I put it in my Q-snap, I started stitching it, and I realized when I got over to this side that I'm awfully close to the edge of fabric here. Yeah, I could have moved it over a little bit. It's going to work, it's going to fit, it's going to be just fine. But I just kind of had to laugh at myself because I've got all this fabric and I still got too close to the edge. The things we do for our craft. Okay, my purchases. Let's see what I got here. Vicky, Stitch and Button. She had posted a while back on Instagram that she was making some Ort catchers, and I wanted one. I asked her if she had any Halloween fabric, so she came back and posted some pictures of some different Halloween fabric, and I said, ooh, I like that one right there. So I had her make a little Ort catcher for me, and the outside fabric is gray with bats on it, and the inside fabric is orange with bats on it. So I have myself a little Ort catcher to go in my bag to take up to Acorns and Threads. And then after that, she sent me a message with a picture of a project bag that she had made and wanted to know if I was interested. It's Harry Potter. So yeah, I got a bag. I'm showing you the front of it. The fabric she used inside is black with polka dots. On the back of it, it's Dumbledore's Army. I love this. Harry, Ron, Hermione, Luna. The only problem with this, and this has nothing to do with Vicky, has nothing to do with the way it's stitched because this is beautiful. Where's Neville? Where's Jenny? The person who decided the fabric needed to include Neville and Jenny. I'm just saying, they were part of Dumbledore's Army too. The Ministry 6. I love it. She made the little fob to go with it. It's got a broom tip here on the bottom of it. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm not going to try to ever stitch one of those types of project bags because zippers, vinyl. No, I like my project envelopes. A while back, I was watching Nikki. She has started doing videos where she records her videos, that little corner with all of her cubbies behind her and everything. Oh my God, I had envy so bad. I wanted to go through everything in that corner and just look at it all, and wow. Wow. But she had a pattern hanging there. Not a pattern, she had the stitch piece hanging there of Old Crow Inn. So after I was done watching her, I went to her shop and I ordered Old Crow Inn. And then I was looking at the other stuff that she has there, and she's got fabrics. I can't smell anything, but this, when I open up the bag, oh my God, that smells good. I got a piece of 16 count Aida. It's old book pages. So it's stamped on one side. It's stamped on one side. So I'm going to be stitching my old crow in on some old book pages fabric. I think, oh, that smells good. Anyway, that is a future project for me to get started on. And out of my acorns and threads bag for purchases, I have the stuff that I bought when I went up there Tuesday. This is the pattern that I had ordered, Stoney Creek Hocus Pocus, and they show it on, I think the fabric is Vintage Stormy Nights Lugana. I couldn't find anything like that, so I found a Picture This Plus Feldspar. It's variegated, it's lovely. I think this is going to look fabulous on it. It's pretty much stitched with two colors. It's stitched with 310 black, and then the swirls and the Hocus Pocus are in a variegated color. I ended up getting Gentle Arts Black Crow, because I've told you I like the Black Crow. But for the variegated, I got Black Raspberry Jam. And I know you're not going to be able to see it, so I'm not sure why I'm holding it up there. But it is black and blue and purpley swirls. For that project, the pattern shows that there's some little stars on there, so I bought some more stars to go on it and a little charm. So that's one of the things that I got up there. A pattern that I have wanted since I first saw it. Blackbird Designs Casting a Spell. When Michelle Rudy finished this one and showed how she finished her whole piece and everything, again, I had envy. I want to do this so bad. This is on my 2019 list of things to do. Love it. And the last little piece that I got is by Scissor Tales Design. It's called Spooky Night. So those were the purchases that I made when I needed my retail therapy, because I did my project envelope back arseward the first time. There you go. Another video done. Took 3 tries. Oh well, it happens. It's live. It's real. Again, thank you everybody who has watched my videos from the beginning, from the middle, just started. Thank you so much. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for sharing my journey. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And as you all stitch all the things, do all the things, live long and stitch on, my friends. Bye-bye.